we're back. This is
And
take
we're
two.
back. This is take 2. Morgan must not leave or do anything. But yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can get a link going. Oh, I already closed the other chat, so they're on their own.
She already added a link into the other chat, so. But as far as we were basically talking about how much we love this movie and the difference, I ended off by saying that I liked the difference between the fact that in Shark Tale, they really focused a lot more on the puns and the random, like just funny guy type humor, and then over here with Finding Nemo, it was a lot more relationship based, even though it did have quite a bit of funny moments.
Yeah. And I think the funniness is, I hate to overuse this word, but kind of timeless. Like it's not dependent on the early 2000s, which were awkward enough. Like, why do we want to go back to that kind of pop culture?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, you almost can't even compare the two. But then you've got, Morgan can still interact with people in the chat room. She can go be our chat hound. Go away. But anyway, Finding Nemo just has a lot of heart, and I think it's a little more relatable. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, characters. You got Albert Brooks and the indomitable Ellen DeGeneres as Marlin and Dory. And I don't even think they had to make Finding Dory, but Dory basically makes this film. Like,
yeah,
Ellen DeGeneres is like a comic genius when it comes to this type of character, and who remembers long-term memory that she saw him, but can't remember anything short-term memory. So
enter in the fantastic hijinks that brings.
Hijinks galore.
I really liked Ellen's performance in this. I felt like she was, and I think everybody felt like that. Yeah, you're right, Mason. This was her movie. You know, that it was Finding Nemo, but it was, everybody came away with the breakout character was Dory, because she was the one that added so much heart to it. Out of the two, she's the only adult that shows real emotion. You know?
Well,
you have, I mean, Marlin
does.
She
has her own arc, definitely.
Yeah, Marlin does. His arc is very interesting. I like how when they were deciding on how to do Marlin's arc, it was, at first they thought, okay, we'll put the Barracuda scene somewhere in the middle. Like, you have to work up to it. He'll be like remembering things, and you'll figure out why he's such a jerk as you go along. But then they're like, yeah, this just doesn't work. Like, you just really don't like Marlin. And so that's why they're like, no, yeah, let's put that at the very beginning, so right away you understand why he is the way he is, and then let the rest of the story and how his change in learning to let go, learning to kind of be free with it, with his relationship with his son, and also with Dory as well, with like all the people that he loves. He ends up putting this idea of, I'm going to lose you, and so you think you can do these things, but you can't. And I felt like the way they switched it around was just perfect.
Well, they really it's good that they had that kind of flashback at the beginning of the film, because then you understand why Marlin freaks out when Nemo goes to the reef, why he tells him he thinks he can do these things, but he just can't, why Nemo says that he hates him, and leaving that open leaving that unresolved for when Nemo gets taken by P. Sherman, and or taken by the dentist guy. But I really think that Marlin and Dory's relationship is one of the most entertaining parts of the film for me. Like, this is like, they do this all the time in animation, but they basically pair the most unlikely duo together, and how could they ever get along or learn to function? But it just works by the end, to where at the very end, Dory confides in Marlin that she feels like she's home,
Mm-hmm.
and that she can remember again when she's with Marlin. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they made that a totally different interpretation when they did Finding Dory, but just looking at Finding Nemo, I think it's really sweet, the relationship they have. And this was something I wrote back in 2011 or whenever we originally made this doc. But this was Mason's big question of episode 23 way back when. But Marlin and Dory's relationship, is it love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? It's not a love story, but could
It's
it happen?
not.
Obviously, people ship Marlin and Dory.
Well, it's easy to do so just because it's like, I don't know. It's one of those like, you have two different species. That's just not going to work out.
Oh my gosh, this is great. I just Googled Marlin X Dory on Google, and make sure you have family
Dangerous.
filter turned on.
Oh
But
my gosh.
basically, the only way they make it work is these DeviantArt artists turn them into anime characters and then have them in love. And it's why I just, fan fiction and fan art is just a completely different realm for me. So we're seeing a lot of people saying basically, no, it's platonic, like it's
Obviously.
it is love, but it's familial love and not romantic love. But I don't know. I don't even think I think the film is naturalistic enough so that I think the universe will not allow for interspecies romance in the Finding Nemo world. But I think a lot of people, including myself, would just prefer to see a deep friendship love between them, or a family love. But now that Dory has found her family, what use has she for Marlin? But I guess they're just really good friends, you know? And
It's all family in that point. I think you just all throw them all into one big pot.